Time is going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is Superhot. For people that have never played this game before, you should. Other than that, it's a game where time only moves when you do. And that mechanic we're basically going to try to ignore as much as possible the entire run. We won't always do it, but for the most part we're going to try to stay in motion as much as possible. A lot of this beginning levels is a lot of muscle memory and just trying to go through these as quickly as possible. The later levels, you kind of have to react a little bit more because as you keep adding more and more enemies, obviously, that gives a bit more chance for something more random to happen. Yeah, it's fine. I have my own timer, so if we get world record, we'll know exactly what it is. You can punch during these black screens. It's a little rare that you actually get the gun, so it's weird that I got it there, but you can input a few punches during those black screens. So what I'm going to do right here is quit out of this level and then start mashing enter. What happens after that level is that there's a little transition where the map kind of fades away and your friend tries to talk to you about this game. But instead you can just quit out because after you hit the last enemy it flags that you've completed the level. So you can just skip that little intermission in between and save yourself a little bit of time. And it cuts down the dialogue. So actually we don't talk to the friend that gave us this game until pretty much near the second half of the game, and then he gets really upset at us for it. So that's great. Alright, so there's stomping in this game. So all you have to do is jump on enemies and you can kill them. The reason I did it there is just because it lets you have an extra bullet here, just in case I do that and miss the guy. It's pretty easy to do. These guys spawn based on where you're standing, so I kind of try to bait them into standing in the right place the entire time for me. Again, we use stomping a little bit more here. You can use it quite a few times. I just do it once at the beginning since I don't have a bat. Because bats are one-hit kills, but punches take 3 hits for you to kill somebody, so you have to be a little bit smarter with doing that. It's pretty slow too. Guys starts adding in shotguns, which are horrible. When enemies use them, they can shoot as many times as you want, but you only have 2 shots with them usually. And the spread is randomized, so sometimes you'll shoot straight at somebody and you'll just form a circle around them, and you will lose because of it. And I've had a run before. It was world record at the time, but basically one of the later levels it forces you to use a shotgun, and it just made a circle around the guy I was trying to shoot, and I lost a good 10-15 seconds off of it right near the end of the run. This is deathless so far. It probably won't be, but we'll see. So you can't stop him, that guy. It's a bit difficult sometimes though. Cool. Again, we're gonna do the same thing here where we quit out of the level early and then we mash enter to start the game again and skip the dialogue that happens after that level. There's a few levels we do that in for the most part. It just keeps the run going, so there's not all these spaces in between. So for inputting text in this game, which you usually have to do for text boxes, you're supposed to type, but for the first half of the game you can just move your mouse in circles for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's like a tiny time save and it's really silly that lets you do it, but I don't question it. Later on we have to do it though. This level's always a lot of fun because they just have a million guns everywhere. So you just look any direction and there's something for you to murder people with. Cool. Sometimes you can accidentally quit too quickly out of that level. If you quit out of a level like that before you've killed everybody, you have to go through the entire level again. It doesn't like save your progress or anything. You just have to sit there and go through the entire thing again. So it's kind of risky to do if you're not paying too much attention to how many enemies were there. But as you get kind of better and better at the game, you have to be a little bit more risky with that. Because you can't actually quit out of the game and then kill somebody as it's loading, like as it's fading away, but that's fairly difficult to do. This entire level is just the game. What's it called? It's just a little intermission, kind of a story-based thing where the game's talking to you. the plot of the game is it's kind of a meta game within a game thing, where you're given a cracked copy of a game. Also, it's like the hardest level in the game. I think most runners will agree to that. Because there's a lot of randomness. All these enemies that are spawning, they spawn with whatever weapon they feel like. So sometimes they spawn with nothing, and sometimes they spawn with shotguns all the time. So it's pretty horrible. But for the most part, they don't do too badly. I was saying before. The plot of the game is that you get a cracked copy of this game from your friend, and then the game starts communicating with you and trying to get you to stop playing it. Can I have your gun, please? Appreciate that. You really want an assault rifle for most of this level. This is the second dog level. The first one was where we were just kind of strafing into a wall. For this one, you have to die. So technically, it is never a deathless run because you have to die for this split. But for the most part, you know, other than required deaths, you can't have a deathless run. I think this is the only... Yeah, this is... Well, technically the only... There's another part that you could technically say we die, but we don't really. That's at the end of the game. This level lets us start using the katana, which is really nice. There's an entire there's an entire challenge mode where you only have the katana to use, and it's actually a lot of fun. I didn't run the category for the longest time, but when I did, it took a while to actually get the record for it. Elevators, another one of the difficult levels. This in hospital. Very easy to mess up because you have 3 people right there, and after you kill 2 of them, it'll make it where the doors open and 2 guys with shotguns are just standing there, and you're still trying to kill that last guy, but they're shooting at you the entire time. So if you don't do that correctly, you can just set yourself up a situation where you die. Because that guy in the elevator can still kill you, because if he punches you, if he touches you at all, he kills you. For you, it's a one-shot from anything and you die. For you punching people, it takes 3 hits, but for them punching you, it's just instant death. This is the last dog level. So all you have to do for this one is just spam escape, because it keeps telling you to try to quit the game, and like, nah, you can't do it. Well, you can do it. But this is the only required message box in the entire game for any of the categories. There's a New Game Plus category where you can use level select and you can skip a lot of the intermission stuff in between. But this is the only one you can't skip because the thing doesn't really keep your progress after Dog 3 unless you've completed this little, what's it called, this little text box. The game is basically telling us to stop playing the game ever again. So what we're going to do is we're going to open the game right back up, because we're not very good at instructions. You can open it up before you start that text box. I wasn't really thinking. I was just having a lot of fun mashing escape. We got our katana back, which is nice. So we're just going to throw it away. Katanas are nice, but in that situation, it's like all these enemies are really far away. You can get these guys. Ooh, I got nobody. That's not good. That's alright. I was trying to kill both of them with that katana throw, and I ended up somehow missing both of them. That was kind of incredible, really. It was more impressive to hit neither of them than to hit 1 or 2 of them. I really don't know where the katana went. Anyway, so we're getting close to the end of this first half of the game. This is the final real level of the first half. What you want to do here is kind of, ooh, not good. Ah, I thought I killed those guys, but they just... Alright, they're all killing each other out there. They can shoot each other by accident. Doesn't normally happen, but sometimes they'll decide to, for whatever reason. Yeah, we're pretty much done with the first half of it. All this is just bunny hopping all the way there. If you haven't noticed yet, jumping is the fastest way of moving in this game. But you can't spam it, like you can't do a mouse wheel and just bunny hop the entire time. You have to actually press it manually each time. Because when you hold space, it actually inputs it as you're floating in the air, rather than, you know, a bunch of jump inputs. So anyways, we have to quit out here, because the game normally tells us we need to, we just punched yourself in the head and you need to go seek medical attention, and then if you try to play the game again, it'll just blur out every single option but quit. At that point, once that box pops up, it flags that you've completed that level and you can move on to this section of it. Sadly, this part I have to start typing, so if you don't like the sound of keyboard mashing, sorry. Yeah, this is the one conversation we had with our friend, and he's upset with us for playing the game that he gave us, and then he's just gonna stop talking to us, because we're a jerk. And we've been speedrunning this game, and he hates speedrunners. Because speedrunning's cheating, right? Everybody knows that. You don't share password, now this, I'm so blocking you. And he does actually block us, so it's a surprise twist of the plot. Anyways, coming up after this is actually, we do introduce a new mechanic to the game. The game's pretty simple. Like, there's only 3 main projectile weapons, I guess. There's a pistol, a rifle, and a shotgun. And there's a bunch of melee weapons that are all the same except for the katana. And then just a bunch of throwable things that you can hit people with, and it's funny, and it makes them look dumb. But anyways, we do get a new mechanic here where we can switch into the body of an enemy. The old body that we were in just kind of falls over and dies, and the body we go to we get control of. The only downside to that is that whatever weapon they have, they throw it away, which you can use to stun people, but most of the time you just throw it at a wall. So you can't hot switch it to someone that's got like an assault rifle and just shoot everybody. And the second you hot switch it to someone, all the red dudes are like, oh yeah, that dude's an enemy, let's murder him. Also, this is the hot soup part of the game, so if you don't understand what that meant before, that's where it comes from.
Superhot, 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 Superhot.
There you go. I don't think I've died yet. Darn it, I jinxed it by saying it. So this is hot switching. It does have a cooldown afterwards, and it recharges in real time, or not real time, it recharges in game time. So that means I have to move around a certain amount for it to actually be like, okay, you can do it again. And it acts that same way until the end of the game. Yeah. These first levels are just kind of produced completely just to teach you how to do hot switching. Darn it. Like, I have the shovel, for whatever reason, it's really easy just to deflect the bullet off of him. Whoops, okay. There's a backup strat there if you miss shooting, and I just spray some extra bullets because the shovel guy decided to shovel knight it up and just not die, I guess. Office is kind of stressful because there's a bunch of corners and people don't want to die. I don't have any ammo. I need to kill that guy. Okay, cool. Give me your gun. Yeah, there we go. I did not do that the way I wanted to. Okay, let's restart that. For some reason, those fragments from that briefcase I threw blocked that bullet right there. That's how that's supposed to go. I was down a bullet before, so I could shoot that guy. Okay, there must be a guy alive here. Cool. I don't really have a hot switch. Like, most of the things I've routed out a hot switch that I'm going to do. For that level, I don't. I just, if I need to, like if I'm about to die, I just kind of keep my hot switch. There's not a lot of good places to do it at. Yeah, Office is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. Also, that's the coolest ASCII brain you're ever going to see in a video game. Guaranteed. Hot soup's pretty good. Do you need more details? No. You press yes, it has this giant terms and service thing that comes up. Like, just kind of scrolls across the screen really, really quick. We don't care about the terms and services. I haven't read those. Who needs to? Oh, there's a gun. So what I did there is I kind of bypassed the entire... Well, I'll show you guys again. The entire mechanic is that they kind of throw their weapon away and it shatters. But if you throw something at them, they'll drop their weapon, and then you can just hot switch to them and take the weapon that's floating right in front of their face. So it kind of goes around that whole entire downside of it. Yeah, I should have done the terms and service as a donation incentive, because people really want to read that. It's like 5 seconds of just like hundreds of words scrolling across that nobody can actually read. Alright, so this is the level I lost 15 seconds on 1 PB because the shotgun, all the bullets just missed everyone. There you go. That's how you can die sometimes. I should have waited a little longer until the shotguns actually, or the shotgun bullets actually get to him. Like, that one's probably not gonna hit anyone. Oh, actually hit his leg. Cool. But you gotta have some really bad stuff happen. That's unfortunate. Green's a weird level to die on. I just kind of got impatient and hot switched a little early. So after each of these levels, it's gonna have me type things, but it's okay because I don't actually have to type it. I'm just spamming ASB because I'm too lazy to actually type the right things. It's funny having to type things with. We did a controller race once, and typing things for that's just like spamming triggers. It's like really immersive, honestly. Shotgun, please. Shotgun, thank you. Did I kill that guy? I don't think I did. I don't think I heard him die. Oh, he did die. Okay, I can't hear. Yeah, it's one of the tougher levels as well. Once you get past that level on a good run, it's like really stressful now because you're kind of getting to the end of the game. This run's actually on a pretty good pace. I've only died a couple times later on, and I haven't gotten stuck on really any levels. For this level, I actually do most of the katana percent strat, like the challenge I was talking about before. Because you start with a katana, so it's kind of lends itself to that. So in this section, once you get guns, there's absolutely no reason not to. Ooh, I almost died. I forgot I had no bullets. I was just running towards him, holding left click. Like, why isn't he dying? Like I had invisible bullets shooting at him or something. Anyway, so that is the last kind of normal level we're gonna play for the rest of Superhot. At this point, we are going to go to the core level. This is the hardest level right here. I have to do frame perfect bunny hops or I fall through the ground. There's actually a secret in here. There's a secret on every level, but there's actually a secret hidden here that we already passed by. It's pretty secret. Anyway, so core's coming up, and it's a giant red pyramid in the center, and your goal is to hot switch into it, but after each time of hot switching into it, you actually... the cooldown on it takes longer, more enemies spawn, it's horrible. No fun. You have to do that 4 times. There's 4 phases, including this first one right here. At the beginning where hot switch instantly charges. You can't actually die on this because enemies will start spawning if you take too long. But for the most part, it's just jump, and then hot switch into it. You have to mash enter here because it speeds up this animation. Kinda. You do it correctly. The second phase isn't much harder. It spawns you with a couple of enemies, but they're not very smart, so you can just jump here. And it, like I said, it recharges in game time, so if I strafe into a corner, it keeps it going at real time, as if I was just always moving. And it's a lot nicer. I don't have to, like, run around in circles. This is the first phase. It's actually difficult. There's a bunch of enemies around me, and I have to climb up this pyramid. There's actually a secret up here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and hide where the secret is, so then nothing can shoot me. This phase of the core, most casual playthroughs, this takes you the longest amount of time to actually go through. So by being able to go up there to that area where the secret is and just hide there by stripping in the corner, it's a little cheesy, but it's so much nicer than actually fighting all the things, and a lot quicker, obviously. What am I doing? I forgot what game I was playing for a second. Oh gosh. The reason I get that wrench is I want to throw it at him. That's the world record just passed by. So there's a gauge of how good that is. I only had a couple deaths, which actually is pretty nice. But yeah, this is the last phase of core. Afterwards, we get infinite hot switching, which is about as fun as it sounds. I just get to become lots of dudes really quickly. There's a 1 cycle strat, because what it does is if you don't hot switch this on after a certain amount of time, it sends you back to the red pyramid, and it has a little animation that it plays. That takes forever. So you can do this in 1. It's a little confusing if you haven't seen it before, but basically just by looking at people I can hot switch to them now. So you can just jump really quickly from person to person. But that's basically Superhot. The run went pretty well. At this point, we're just sitting in a jail cell, and then we are going to shoot ourselves. Don't do that, children. Stay in school. Not a good idea. Don't listen to video games. Everyone knows video games make you violent, so come on. But yeah, that's mostly it for Superhot. I will be doing Oblivion after this, I believe. So that'll be good as long as Oblivion doesn't decide to stop working. I did have issues with it 2 days before the marathon. it just stopped loading. It would just be invisible for me. I could hear the sound, but I couldn't actually see it. It's pretty good. So hopefully the things I did to fix it work, and I won't just have to play Superhot like 3 more times to fill in for the time spot. I mean, I can play Pumpkin %, which is pretty good. All the enemies become tiny little midgets with pumpkins for heads, and they're so tiny that they get stuck on furniture and just can't grab weapons. It's great. It was programmed really well. And that's time. Mine, that was about 12. Or yeah, it was about 12 minutes, guys. We beat world record by 6 minutes. It was about 20 minutes by my timer thingy. Yeah, there you go. He's dead. But he's us, so we're dead. Alright, so Superhot, I'm gonna